Hi, I'm Justin Rivera with Wasden Immigration Litigation. I wanted to take a quick moment today to discuss the increase in OPT and STEM OPT site visits with FDNS. So there's been recent reports that there have been a significant uptick in FDNS compliance investigations for OPT and STEM OPT individuals. So these are individuals on F1 who have completed their program typically and are working in a field that is directly related to their degree. For OPT students, that requires the individual to work a set number of hours per week, and they must be receiving, actual training and gaining work experience. So for OPT, the positions can be unpaid. However, there has been an increase in scrutiny on whether the unpaid internships should be paid. So that's an issue to consider in the event that you receive a site visit and there ends up being an attempt at a revocation or something like that. So anyway, when you're on OPT, if you get a site visit, obviously it's going to be concerning, a bit scary, but understand that typically the officers are going to ask you a couple of questions, usually about the work you're doing, how it relates to your degree. If you're getting paid, they may ask for pay stubs. If you're not getting paid, they may ask why. So expect those kinds of questions. Typically, as I would advise anyone that speaks with FDNS nowadays, I would say that you exercise your right to an attorney and ask them to speak with your attorney if you have a G28, or tell them that you have an attorney and then get a G28 so that you can move the communications online. So for OPT students, there's not a whole lot for them to look into outside of making sure that the work is what it's supposed to be and the person's actually working. Obviously, there have existed in the past and will probably continue to exist shell company organizations that basically sell OPT employment letters to ensure that individuals do not go over their 90 days of OPT employment. So that's an issue as well. I would obviously caution everyone not to work with those companies because it can lead to pretty bad results. But in the event that you were with one, I would reach out to our firm very soon. So that's it for OPT. STEM OPT, on the other hand, there's a little bit more with compliance, right? And the reason for that is the I-983 training plan. The I-983 training plan is a document that basically attests that the employer will be providing training to you in a certain way, in a certain manner, and within their capacity, FDNS can and will likely take a look at that document and assess how compliance is occurring. The other thing to consider for STEM OPT, unlike OPT, payment is mandatory. So if you are working subject to STEM OPT, you have to be getting paid by your employer. If you are not getting paid by your employer, that's a violation of status and can lead to an issue like you being kicked out of SEVIS. So they're probably going to ask for payment, proof of the training plan, how the employer is complying with that training plan. They're probably going to want to talk to you and your supervisor. So this is not the first time this has been done. They have definitely utilized this in the past on a much smaller scale. What does seem to be different is the volume. Obviously, USCIS has been injected with a bunch of cash, and as a result, they're able to hire more officers who are going to be trained to do these kinds of investigations. So it wouldn't surprise me that we see an uptick in this, specifically now as individuals are close to going over that threshold of 10-1 and changing status to H-1B. So I would just say, my general advice is have your documents readily available, things like your I-20s, your EAD, your I-983 if you're on STEM OPT, pay stubs if they exist, if you're being paid, your transcripts if needed, and obviously a copy of your offer letter. Have a plan to make sure that if an officer comes in and you're not available, that your HR or your boss or whomever is able to explain why you're not there, where you are, and how you can be contacted. So at the end of the day, my general advice for everyone would be try to get legal representation involved in the process to act as a bit of a shield between you and the officer, give you an opportunity to push the information to an attorney who can review and give the best answer possible based on the circumstance and situation. If that's not the case, have those documents, be ready to talk, Be ready to participate because participation is mandatory, and just be prepared. If you have any additional questions, issues you would like to discuss, you're always welcome to reach out to us at WASDEN Immigration Litigation. Myself and John are always available for consultations. So thank you very much for your time, and I hope everybody has a good weekend.